Good morning and welcome to the little apartment on the prairie. I'm cutting up some sweet potatoes for lunch, and I haven't done a video in a few days because, I don't know, I've had so much going on. On top of, there's a pandemic. I discovered a few days ago that my apartment has bed bugs, which is just horrible. I have two neighbors who have them, so I think I know how I got them. But it's horrible. So I think I caught them early. Hopefully it won't be that hard to treat. The pest control people are coming. This is Sunday morning, and they're going to be here tomorrow, Monday morning. But yeah, so I had to vacuum my couch, and I flipped it upside down to vacuum the bottom. I had to do a lot of stuff, and I still need to do some straightening up in preparation of the pest control people coming tomorrow. And then yesterday, I had an issue with my toilet, so I'm waiting for the plumber to come tomorrow. Plumbing and pest control are considered essential businesses, which we still have non-essential businesses open in most of Nebraska because our governor doesn't seem to think that this is all that serious and doesn't want to shut things down, even though that would save lives. But that's another topic for another time, maybe. Sassafras, you don't like sweet potatoes. She's trying to eat sweet potato peels. This is the strangest cat. Yesterday she ate a green bean. And the other day I was blending up cooked carrots and beets for Isaac to go with his meals, and she ate a bunch of it. Carrots and beets. She doesn't know that cats aren't supposed to eat these things. So, anyway, it's been stressful, and things are changing so fast. We've got way over 100,000 cases of COVID-19 now in the U.S., and well over 2,000 deaths. In the state of Nebraska, we've had 108 people diagnosed and 2 deaths. There are no cases yet diagnosed in my county, but there's no cases diagnosed in many rural counties. In Nebraska, they're not doing much testing in the rural areas. So, yeah, if you don't test, you won't get positive cases now, will you? So, Sassy, kitties don't like sweet potatoes, little girl. So it's been a stressful time, and I'm watching people around me adjust to suddenly realizing that she just stole a sweet potato peel and tried to run away with it. So I'm watching people realizing that things are not going to be the way they thought they were. I watched my neighbor, who's got 2 young children, the other day realize that her oldest is not going to have a birthday party next month because this isn't going to be over next month. And I knew, about a month ago, when I was shopping, I bought a cake mix so that if his mom didn't get a chance to get a cake mix, we'd have one and could make a cake for his birthday. I knew then that he wasn't going to be having a birthday party. I knew then the kids were not going back to school this year. But, Sassy, you've got to stop this. I don't want you to lick my sweet potatoes. I'm going to eat those, but not if you slobber all over them. So, I knew these things, a month ago, but I'm watching her just realize them. I watched her realize the other day that, do you hear that cat fight? At least now she's off with whiskers and not bothering my sweet potatoes. So I watched my neighbor realize the other day that the kids are not going back to school in April. And then she realized that her son is not having a birthday party. And I'm watching people realize these things. Most of them things that I've known for a while. And I don't know what made it possible for me to realize it sooner than some other people did. I think... Isaac, come here. Bring me your Kong. I'll give you a treat. Sorry about that noise. So many years ago, when I became disabled and I had to leave a job that I really loved, I had to go through this process of realizing that, I wouldn't be able to have that job anymore. And then after that, there was a process of, for a while I thought that I would be on disability for a short time, but then I'd go back to work, right? And then I had to realize that that wasn't happening. I wasn't going back to work. Or at least not the type of work I did before, that I wouldn't be back at a job like that. And there have been so many things with having a disability, of realizing that things that just wouldn't happen, just couldn't happen. And so, maybe I've had experience coming to know that fact, whereas other people haven't. I don't know. If it wasn't so heartbreaking, it would just be really interesting to watch people's reactions and people going from, not listening when I suggested that they stock up on necessities, to watching, a neighbor come home from the store and be like, there's no Tylenol. I can't get any Tylenol. And I'm like, I know. It's because, we get a lot of drugs from India and China, and those aren't coming right now. There's going to be a lot of drug shortages. And I've said this to my neighbor multiple times, and it just I guess went in one ear and out the other. But now she's like, oh, there's no Tylenol. And I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I don't know if I'm making any sense. How do you guys feel? Did you adjust to this early? Are you still really shocked by each thing that comes? I will say that while I knew some of these things were happening, it's still, or going to happen, I knew these things were coming, it's still really shocking or painful and just heartbreaking to see the things in the hospital. In New York City right now, they've got refrigerated trucks behind hospitals to hold the bodies because there's not room in the hospital morgue where they normally would put bodies. And this is shocking. I mean, I knew that in Spain they turned an ice skating rink into a morgue, but Spain's on the other side of the earth, it seems so far away. And then when you see these things starting to happen here, it's like, okay, now it's serious. And there's been one after another thing that's happened that in my mind has gone, okay, now it's serious. They're already in some hospitals in New York setting up ventilators so they can manage 2 patients on one ventilator. Basically, it's the machine that breathes for you. So there's a tube that comes from the machine to your throat, goes in your mouth and down, in your throat. And normally there's one person per machine, and they can adjust the settings just to what you need, right? And it's all sterile and everything. So now what they're doing is they're having this tube, and they're attaching a piece to it that's got 2 tubes, like a Y. And then one can go to one patient, one can go to another patient, which means they can't adjust the settings just for you because you're sharing it with another patient. And you can get germs from the other patient. And it's not the way the machine's meant to be used, and it's not nearly as safe or effective. But it's more effective than not putting you on a respirator when you can't breathe. Isaac, come here, bud. Come here. Come here, puppy. It's better than, it's more effective than no treatment, which would be the alternative. And hospitals are already discussing the protocol of, what patients would get treatment and what patients wouldn't when they don't have enough beds or enough ventilators, because it's coming to that. And anyway, so that when I heard that, they were actually doing this at one hospital now here in the United States, it was like, oh no, now it's serious. And then there's the refrigerator truck out back, and it's like, oh no, now it's serious. And it's like, you know, these different things keep hitting me, and like, I know it's serious. I've known that for a long time, but yet there are these moments that just hit you and you go, oh no, now it's serious. And you start to realize that life is never going to be the same again. Something else I'm dealing with, and I don't know, maybe some of you are too, please feel free to share in the comments. Ouch, Sassy. If you're going to bite me, get down. So the other day, was it Friday? It was Thursday. Thursday, I realized I had bed bugs. And the only place I have them is on my couch. But I pretty much live on my couch. I sit on it all the time. I mean, I sit more than I should probably, although probably less than a lot of people. But anyway, I sleep on my couch more often than my bed. I have a bed. I almost never sleep in it. It's like Isaac's bed. He sleeps in it. So anyway, I'm realizing that I have bed bugs on my couch, and I'm trying not to cry because I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to have to throw out my couch, and I can't afford to get a new couch. And then I'm thinking, how am I even going to get my couch out of my apartment? Like, I don't have anyone to help me move it. And like, who wants to come in and help when you have bed bugs and there's a pandemic going on? And I'm like, is it going to be hard to even get pest control with a pandemic? I mean, that's considered an essential business, and we still have non-essential businesses open in Nebraska, but still, pest control is coming Monday. They won't come in the apartment when I'm here. I have to go out in the hallway so that, I guess, if I have, you know, germs, I won't breathe on them, which is fine. I don't want their germs either. I'm just glad they're coming. But I'm thinking, you know, if I have to throw out my couch and I somehow manage to, shove it down my stairs and drag it out to the dumpster by myself, I can't get a new couch because I can't afford it. But also, how do you even go couch shopping during a pandemic? I mean, you can't go into a store. I mean, furniture stores are still open in much of Nebraska, as unbelievable as that is. But I'm not stupid enough to go shopping for things that aren't essential, and I'm not sure I'm going shopping for, you know, things like food. I might go shopping in April for some food, or I might not. I haven't decided. I've got stuff at home, but, you know, I might want some fresh produce and stuff, but I don't know if I'm decided, you know, I haven't decided yet if it's safe enough to risk going, if it's worth the risk. So anyway, I'm practically in tears because of my stupid couch. And I'm like, so many people have it so much worse. I mean, this is the worst thing that's happened to me. It's not really even related to the pandemic, except that you can't go couch shopping in a pandemic. But, so I almost felt guilty that, I'm upset because other people have it worse. I don't have that much to be that upset about. And, you know, I realized that this time last year, we were having serious flooding here in Nebraska. Much of the state was underwater. And not where I live. But I still was, kind of traumatized by it. You know, I would watch these images on the internet of towns flooded and people being rescued from their houses and cattle being swept away by the floodwaters. And it was traumatic. And my house wasn't even flooded. And I don't know what that has to do with anything, except I was thinking of it this morning, and I was like, and compared to the pandemic, those seem like the good old days. I don't know. Spring is never going to seem the same to me again, I think. So I know this is just kind of me babbling about all sorts of things, but, you know, share in the comments how you're doing. Let me know what you're thinking and feeling. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more videos. Have a nice day if you can, and try to stay well.